Okay, I'm back to Like a Slow Burning Fire, and we're going to be doing chapter 12 in just a second. Last chapter, chapter 11, was Freddy's backyard, and the chapter began with me over at my girlfriend Julie's place, and I just finished my degree at Carleton, and I was over at her house, and her mother talked about how her mother made me a cake and gave me a mug with my name on it, and this is it right here. You can, if you look really close, you can see my name with the date. It says my name and then June 1988. Anyway, yeah, still have it all these years later. There we go. Okay, so chapter 12. It's called My Bedroom, part 2. I'm staring at an envelope on the kitchen counter. It's from Ottawa U, Teachers College. Earlier this week, I got the news from U of T and even Lakehead, and both had the word regret in the first line, so that was all I read. The envelope on the kitchen counter is my last chance. I can't open it right now, so I put my gym clothes on and head out for a morning run. I'm going through the forest at a good pace, and when I come to a big hill, I power my way to the top. My thighs are aching and my lungs are burning, but I like this feeling, so I keep going without looking back. I get home, wipe my face, and chug some water. The envelope on the counter is sitting there mocking me, and I figure gotta stare it down and face it eventually, so I pick it up and open it. The word regret doesn't appear till the second sentence, and the verdict's in. 0 for 3, as in loser. I'm shaken up and I want to call Hopper, but I don't. Instead, I have a shower, get into my work clothes, and head to the auto center to work a job that suddenly has no end date. We're slammed at work, lots of cars in, which is good because it keeps me busy. I'm on the service desk and I'm swamped, so I have to sell a couple mechanics on working a few hours overtime. It takes some muffins, but it's done. And then Julie calls. She says, let's get together tonight. And I tell her I have ball hockey. She says she'll meet me at the arena, which one and when. I tell her Bell Arena, 7 o'clock, and she says I'll see you there. After work, I go to the Banana Boat for a beer with Andy and Tom, 2 guys from work who are on my ball hockey team. They live on the Quebec side, so we're grabbing a beer and some dinner before the game. We're having dinner and Tom asks what's new, and I tell them about the regrets. That's shitty, man, says Andy. Maybe go for something else. You got your degree. Maybe try the government or something. Yeah, I got to figure something out. I don't know, I say. The waitress brings a second beer for me. Before we leave, it's one more for the road, and then off to the game. I walk into the arena, and there's Julie talking to Bob, the goalie's girlfriend, Lisa. Hey, Julie says. We hug. Nice that you came. Your mom gave you the car? Yeah, she says. That's great. You want to go back to my place after? Sure, she says. That works. The beers aren't helping me on the floor, and halfway through the third, I'm chasing a guy in a breakaway, and I swipe at his stick, and it goes up and catches me in the chin and cuts me good. Bob stops the shot, and the ref whistles the play down, and I take off my left glove and feel the blood on my chin. I look over at the guy who clipped me and yell, "Fuck was that? Control your fucking stick," while my blood drips on the floor. You fucking slashed me, he says. Bullshit, your stick went way the fuck up and caught me, you fucking hack. The ref turns to me and says, "That's enough, sir, or you're going." Fucking guy with his stick, I say. I told you, sir, enough. Talk to him about his fucking stick. I say, "That's it, sir, you're gone." The ref points at me and whips his thumb over his shoulder. For what? Jesus, what the? You're out of the game, sir. He says, "Sir? What the fuck?" I head to the dressing room and Tom follows me and says, "I'll get the first aid kit." I wipe my face and clean the cut, and Tom puts 2 square Band-Aids on it. It's not too bad, so I have a quick shower, change, and head out of the room while the rest of the guys are coming in. Dude, says Bob, you know that ref takes no shit. What the fuck was that? The guy's stick went way up. Whatever, I don't know. I gotta go. I'll see you at work. I head into the lobby, and Julie's standing by the Coke machine, still and silent. I go to hug her, but she pushes me back and puts a hand in my cheek. You okay? She says. Yeah, it's fine. Just a bit of a cut. You meet at my place? Sure, she says. Julie and I get to my house, and Dunk is watching a playoff game in the living room. We say hi, and he asks about my chin, and I say ball hockey. The stick went up, and he says rough. I grab a bag of Smart Food and 2 cans of cream soda, and Julie and I go to my room. The blind on the little window above my bed is up, and the sky is shot through with pink and orange as the sun sinks into the earth. I turn off the light and put on some music, and we lie on my bed with the pillows propped against the wall and open the Smart Food. I lean into her. "How's the cut?" she says. "Yeah, it's okay. Can't believe the ref tossed me just for that. Lisa told me he's the guy from last year who's pretty intense." "Yeah, dickhead. He kept calling me sir. Fucking loser. But he had to kick you out, didn't he? After what you said? The other guys don't toss you just for that. Well, we could hear you in the stands," she says. "Yeah? Ah, well, it doesn't really matter." We sit for a minute with no words as Tom Cochran's Boy Inside the Man plays in the background. And then, quietly in a whisper, Julie says, "Things aren't good, are they?" "What things?" I say. "Lisa told me about Ottawa U. I really thought you were going to get in. Why didn't you tell me?" "Yeah," I say, "I don't know." I stare out the window, watching the sky turn purple and blue. I take a handful of Smart Food, but Julie hasn't touched it. "I was so hoping for you, but there's other things, like you can try next year, or try something else. Or maybe," "Yeah," I say, "but it was the only reason I went to Carleton to get this teaching thing, get a real job. My marks were pretty good this year. I don't know. It wasn't meant to be, I guess. Like fate, whatever." "Do you really think so?" she says. "I don't know, Julie," I say. "I feel like I don't know anything anymore." She says. "What about you? You going with psych?" "Yeah," she says. "It's the only thing I really like, so, you know." "Yeah, that's good." We sit in silence for a minute, and then Julie says, "I've been thinking." And right then, in that moment, I know. I can feel it. "Maybe," she says, "I think it might make sense if we just, took some time, did our own thing. Like I go my way and you go yours." We're sitting beside each other, parallel. She's looking straight at the 2 red dots on my stereo, and I'm staring out the window at the purple sky, and my heart's racing, my mouth is dry, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm getting dumped by the girl who left hints on my pillow. "I feel so bad talking about this today," she says, "but it's all been too much, and sometimes I feel like everything's too much, like you're too much, or maybe we're too much. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right anymore." "Too much?" I say. "It's just how I feel sometimes. Like I need to feel settled, but you can't ever settle. You just keep going, and I need to slow down and settle. And I don't think we can do that together. I used to think we could, get in sync. There was a time when I was sure of it and I wanted to with you so bad. And I tried. I really did. I tried so hard, and I'm sorry, but I don't know." And then silence. My heart's thumping, and there's so much I want to say, need to say, but instead I sit there watching the sky turn purple and say nothing. "I think," she says, "we've both seen this coming for a while. Like a couple months, like since that night. Maybe the whole thing was too much." And "No," she says, "it's nothing like that. I've been feeling this way since way before that night. It's been since like the middle of winter, I think." "Winter," I say. "But that thing on my pillow, like for the ring?" "Yeah," she says, "I thought maybe that would fix things with us. Like we'd been drifting apart and things between us were, I don't know, cold, I guess. I thought maybe that would give us a spark. Like if we got engaged, things would be okay. And I don't know what happened, but over the winter, things just changed. Everything just felt so cold." I say, "Yeah, winter." We sit silently, and I'm thinking, God damn Ottawa winters. That damp air comes in off the river and makes your forehead cold, your bones cold, your car seat cold, and your love cold. And then your love freezes, and there's no going back. Love's not like water. It can't turn to ice, go back to water, and then to steam, which is what you need and you're never going to have again. And once your love freezes, that's it. No more. It's cold and dead and gone, and you got to grab it and face it, and maybe that's what she's doing right now. "And then that night in March," she says, "that awful night, you haven't been the same, at least not to me. You don't really talk anymore. And you don't look at me the way you used to." "Yeah," I say. "That night, it was so awful for you, but I feel like you think it was my fault because if you didn't have to drive all that way." "No," I say, "that's not it. Then what is it? She says. I don't answer. Was it the next night, she says, when he wanted me to stay over? I don't answer. What was I supposed to do? She says. I wanted to stay, but I couldn't. I say nothing. I knew it, she says. I knew it bothered you. It's okay, I say. That night, I didn't want to go back there on those roads. I just wanted you here with me. I wanted you to stay with me. I didn't want to get in the car and drive all that way. It just got a hold of me. You should have told me, she says. I had no idea. How could I have known? You didn't say anything. I tried, but it's not your fault, I say. I'm lying on my back, staring at a sliver of light on the ceiling that's coming in through the window. I was so hopeful for us, she says. We had something so good for so long. But it's like it floated away and now it's gone and I don't think we can get it back. Yeah, I say. She lies beside me and grabs my hand, and then she leans over and hugs me tight and puts her head into my shoulder. I pull her in closer, put my head in her hair, and smell vanilla. I'm thinking, hang on, man, hang on. And then Lucky comes out of the speakers. Hey, I quietly say, remember this one? This song, it's you and me, but mostly you, I guess. We listen to Amy Mann's sweet, sad voice sing the first line about giving it all up. Yeah, she says. I always get you to change this song. It's so sad. It makes me cry. Yeah. We lie in silence and listen as Amy gets to the chorus about how if these two sad people were lucky, they could have hung on to that feeling and life could have been fucking great. Not just great, but fucking great. But they couldn't, and it wasn't. Julie squeezes my hand tight, and I squeeze her hand tighter. I can tell she's crying, and I'm doing my best to fight it. And even though I know what we once had is gone forever, as I stare at that white ceiling in the dark with a girl who used to be mine, I want to find that feeling that went away and hold it tight and hold her tight so everything could be sweet like it used to be, but it's gone and I know it, so there's nothing to say or do but lie there and breathe. You okay? She says. Yeah, I say, even though it's a lie. So what happens now? She says. Nothing, I say. Nothing happens now. I guess you just leave. You leave. Julie gets up and I get up and we stand in the middle of the room and hold each other silent and tight. She puts her face up to mine and kisses me on the cheek and puts her head in my chest. And then she turns away, walks out of the room and closes the door behind her. I lie back on the bed with my hands behind my head for a few long minutes. I try to be calm and cool, but my head's spinning. And there goes my heart again. So I get up, turn off the music, grab the keys off the dresser, head up the stairs, go out the door, and get in my car. I turn the key, roll the windows down, and press play on the tape deck. The jingle-jangle guitar of Throw Your Arms Around Me fills the empty space in the car as the singer goes on about shedding his skin. I back out of the driveway, crank up the volume, put the car in gear, and fly down Moody Drive as fast as that shit car can go. My eyes are fixed on the view out the windshield, dead straight ahead, and not once do I look in the rearview mirror. And that's the end of chapter 12.